Alright guys, I think we got a fun little video today. We're going to be talking about Wii U games that I think are stuck on the Wii U. As many of you know, when the Switch started, they used a lot of Wii U ports to kind of coast through the early years and then through the COVID shutdowns. They relied pretty heavily on the Wii U, and a lot of people realized, like, whoa, the Wii U actually has some sick games that are just, nobody played them because they're on the Wii U, right? So we've seen Pikmin come over, we've seen Tropical Freeze come over, we saw Mario 3D come over. We have seen a lot of games. Mario Kart 8, maybe that's the most infamous one because that one's still going. And I wrote the script for this video. We're going to cover maybe 9 games in it, and I just thought of another one off the top of my head, so I will be adding that one in briefly and kind of randomly off the top of my head. So let's get ready for that. But with the last major Nintendo Direct happening earlier this week, I think it's safe to say that Nintendo probably is not going to be coasting on remakes and ports, which we thought they were going to be doing. And sure, they did announce Donkey Kong Country Returns for January, but just looking at 2025, you've got Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon ZA, the Dragon Quest collection, I'm pretty sure, and I think there's Professor Layton. Right, so they've got, what, 5 titles already announced for 2025, and we all know how the end of console lifespans have gone for most Nintendo consoles. The Switch does not look like it'll be following that trend. It looks like it's actually going to have a pretty good last major retail relevant season. So with that in mind, we're going to get into the games that... Now, I don't want to say 100% these games are trapped on the Wii U, even though, that's the name of the video. As they'll do one more announcement where they announce the Switch 2 and probably like the last offerings, the crumbs. So one of these games could sneak in as like a going away present to the Switch. But I think we're getting to the point where all 10 of the games talked about today will not make it over to the Switch. Some I'm more confident in others. Like, let's go ahead and get this one out of the way. Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. If you're a Switch fan, if you're a Zelda fan, you've been following this rumor for the last 5 years. I mean, I've talked about this in so many of the Zelda videos before, where I've said in several videos, I don't think this exists. And I said in my last June prediction, my June predictions, like, it's now or never. They either announce it in the June Direct, or it just doesn't exist. So I am now confident in saying this does not exist. That's why it would be hilarious if the Switch's going away present is the Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD combo pack. That would be absolutely insane, but I don't think they need it now. I had this vision of you being able to play every mainline Zelda game on the Switch, and that's why I thought it made sense, because Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are like the only 2 that you can't play via the Nintendo Switch Online service and physical releases. Someone will have to tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are the only ones you can't play. Maybe Majora's Mask isn't on the online service. I don't know. But it's like we're legit down to maybe just these 2. And I thought during the 35th anniversary, maybe we'd get it, or during COVID, when they were just kind of coasting on ports, we would get it, and we never did, right? So I think this is a certified rumor. This does not exist. I'm pretty confident in saying we will not be getting Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. So let's talk about the game that just popped in my head. I don't really have anything planned to say about this, so we'll just go off the cap here. Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers on Wii U. I think everybody could have guessed this is not coming over to the Switch. We got Smash Brothers Ultimate. There was never a need for this game. This one is 100% staying on the Wii U. We, to my knowledge, have never got a Smash Brothers game ported over to a successor's console. The Switch will not start that trend now. Now, with the Switch successor, we could get Smash Ultimate just put on there for whatever reason, you know? But Smash Wii U, not coming over to Switch. No need to really dwell on that one too long. Alright, next up is Xenoblade Chronicles X. Personally, this is one of 2 games today that I really did want to see get ported over. And that's because I've said it in other videos, I wanted the entirety of Xenoblade Chronicles playable on one console. You could sit down and play Xenoblade Chronicles X, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the same console. Now I feel like that dream is no longer available to us. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2 are available on Switch. Xenoblade Chronicles X, unfortunately, is now stranded on the Switch. I do not think this will be ported over. Now, I will say it's a 25% chance that this kind of gets thrown in 2025, but I've seen Xenoblade Chronicle fans say that porting X over to the Switch wouldn't do it any good. It needs to be ported over to the Switch successor, so I'm just inclined to go with that theory. Next is Kirby. This is one of the few Kirby games that just didn't click with me. I don't know why. I've got the one on the DS that's like the same idea. You draw little platforms for Kirby. I play these games, I like these games, but to me, they'll never be as good as the actual platformers. And that's kind of where I was at with this one. There was a lot of talks of, will it be Kirby on Wii U or will it be Kirby on 3DS or DS? You know, there were a couple thrown out from the Triple Deluxe or Planet Robo or Kirby on Wii U, and I was always a fan of give us one of the 3DS games because those are more like traditional Kirby platformer games, you know, and that's what I would have enjoyed seeing. Now, obviously, with this Direct, we didn't get any, and I feel like, you know, we're just at a point where this game, it was very gamepad dependent, obviously, due to you having to draw Kirby's path. So I always thought it was a long shot that this would get ported over, and now with where we're at in the Switch's lifespan, I'm pretty confident in saying Nintendo is not going to rework this game just for a Switch release. This game is stuck on the Wii U. Which gets us to another jaded entry of a beloved franchise where it was too dependent on the gamepad and is probably not worth porting over to the Wii U. And you guessed it, of course I'm talking about Star Fox Zero. I've said it before, Star Fox is actually my favorite designed Nintendo character. And I had always wanted this game to get brought over to get like that second chance, because so many Wii U games were brought over to the Switch and people thought immediately like, oh, this game's awesome, this game's awesome, this game's awesome. I always thought, man, I really hope Star Fox Zero gets brought over to the Switch. I don't even care if they bring back the cockpit mode, which is, you know, part of what makes it so difficult to port over, is that was a gamepad feature. For those of you that don't know, you could use the gamepad for a cockpit view, whereas the Switch, there's no way to get 2 screens, right? Like, you either have the Switch docked and therefore you lose the Switch's screen itself, or you're playing in handheld and you lose your TV screen. So there was just no way to play it dual screen like you could with the gamepad. Personally, I really liked any game that came out with a reason to use the gamepad, so I did not hate Star Fox Zero. But at this point, I would say it's another one of those titles where it's just not worth Nintendo porting it over to the Switch, especially not this late in the lifespan. I'm fully on the train of just give us a new Star Fox game completely reworked for the Switch's successor. I mean, it's been like 8 years since Star Fox Zero, so I think it's time. Give us a new one designed solely for the successor, no gimmicks, just a good old Star Fox game. So yeah, no Star Fox Zero, but if you want to enjoy some Star Fox 64 is playable on the NSO N64 expansion. Alright, and you're going to see time and time again, I collect the Wii U. I'm 2 games short of a full set. I think there's so many misunderstood great games on the Wii U, and we're getting to another one, and that's Nintendo Land. Nintendo Land it's pretty awesome. It does have solo attractions, but this game is definitely at its peak when you were playing multiplayer. This is one of, if not the best displays, or showcases, I guess is a better word, for the gamepad. And obviously this game was designed as like a tech demo turned, full game, right? Like, this game showcases the gamepad better than maybe any other Wii U game. And it's always stood out to me for that reason. The mini games are really fun. I've played the solo games. The solo games are fun too. You've got a Yoshi one, you've got a Captain Falcon one. And it's a real blast to play. I think if you have a Wii U, it's pretty cheap, maybe $5 or $10. I would definitely grab it if you got a couple buddies to play with. But I never thought Nintendo Land was going to be reworked or ported over or whatever. Like, obviously, Nintendo Land as it stood, I mean, it was designed to showcase the gamepad. It was never going to work for the Switch. But I thought, what if you did a sequel and you include Bayonetta, Splatoon, maybe you throw a Pokemon map, you update, you give like a new Zelda one, a new Mario one, so on and so forth. I thought there was real potential to do like another Nintendo Land attraction-based style of game. But of course, as Nintendo Land is presently constructed, no, this game was never going to come to the Switch, and I think, again, this late in the lifespan, there's absolutely no reason to rework this game, but it would be cool to get a sequel. I don't think we will, so I think this game will be just a capsule of time for the Wii U. So, try to enjoy it for what it is. Nintendo Land, a pretty hidden gem, I guess, if you can call a Nintendo game a hidden gem, for the Wii U. Definitely recommend it if you've got a Wii U. Okay, so with the announcement of Mario and Luigi Brothership, the ship has officially set sail on Paper Mario Color Splash. And if this video has probably outed me as a Wii U apologist. And if it hasn't by now, then this segment of the video definitely will. Color Splash is another misunderstood Wii U title. I know, at this point I sound like a broken record. Hardcore Paper Mario fans hate this game, and they hate Sticker Star. And admittedly, I've never beat either of them, but I have played both of them. I've enjoyed my time with both of them, honestly. Like, I thought Color Splash was pretty fun. But, even I'll say, okay, it's not as good as the original 3. And that's kind of its issue. It's not as good as the original 3. Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, and Super Paper Mario are just better, and that's fine, right? But it's kind of a victim of being the 4th or 5th best game in a beloved franchise. Is what I like about Paper Mario is it got a new game on the Switch. It got Origami King, and I know that game's kind of hit or miss with people. Visually, I think it's very beautiful. Combat's really wacky, but it's fun. I think it's fun to traverse the levels, and the writing has been really good. But yeah, the combat it's something else, right? And we got a port, Thousand Year Door, right? And that came out just recently. So the thing about Paper Mario is we've never had a Paper Mario port. The N64 had Paper Mario, the GameCube had Thousand Year Door, the Wii had Super Paper Mario, the Wii had Super Paper Mario, the Wii U had Color Splash, 3DS had Sticker Star. So there was never a time where they're like, hey, let's bring an old Paper Mario back. So I didn't think any Paper Mario game was going to get ported. But when the time came, like, hey, we're going to port a Paper Mario over, well, you're the 4th best one in the franchise. 4th, 5th best one in the franchise, right? So the odds of you getting picked over Thousand Year Door or Paper Mario 64 or Super Paper Mario was just low, right? So, and there's no real connection to Origami King, so it had no claim to be picked over something like Thousand Year Door. And I don't think Super Paper Mario and I don't think Paper Mario 64 are getting ported over, so there's just no way I see Color Splash getting brought over. So yeah, the ship has sailed. Paper Mario, Color Splash, you're left behind. Alright, here's one you probably weren't expecting. Devil's Third. Yes, this game is technically published by Nintendo, even if it does not fit their MO most of the time. It is still published by Nintendo. And if you don't follow the Wii U collecting scene, this is maybe the most notorious, infamous Wii U game of all time. It's definitely the most expensive, the most rare, maybe the dumbest Wii U game out there, right? And it is one of only 2 Wii U games I'm missing. So did part of me hope that this would get a, I don't know, Devil's Third Deluxe or something like that released on the Switch, and maybe that would drive down the price of the Wii U? I mean, who are we kidding? Devil's Third, I guess at this point, isn't getting brought over. I know originally it was planned to be a trilogy, and then it got that Windows-only, multiplayer-only version. It's had a pretty interesting past. I don't know if this game will ever get its sequel. I don't know if this game will ever get ported. As it stands, it is the rarest, hardest to find, most expensive Wii U game, and considering I don't think it's coming to the Switch, that will be its legacy for the time being. Last today is the game maybe I wanted ported over the most, in all honesty, and the game I thought that had the best shot of getting remade entering this week for the Nintendo Direct is Yoshi's Woolly World. I'm super nostalgic for this game. It was one of the Wii U games I had during the Wii U's lifespan. So before I started to go after a full set, this was just one I bought during its retail, relevancy, retail release. Jessica and I beat this game, and it's one of my favorite modern day side scrollers and one of my favorite modern day couch co-ops. I cannot say enough good things about this game, and honestly, I've kind of been waiting for it to get ported over. To me, it just made so much sense. It did get a sequel on the Switch, and it's just a great game. Out of all the games I mentioned today, it may be the one I say, hey, you should go buy that if you got a Wii U, or if you're thinking about getting into Wii U collecting. Yoshi's Woolly World is a top 5 Wii U game for me. So, yeah, I'm a little bummed that it didn't get ported over. But like I said, it did get a sequel. So it's not like they just abandoned the Yoshi's franchise for the Switch. So I'm not complaining too much. But it would have been nice to have it on the Switch as well. So guys, that is every game we wanted to talk about today. As you can see, a lot of people said that the Switch was going to pluck every game from the Wii U, and for the first 4 years of the Wii U's lifespan, it really looked that way. The Switch has kind of calmed down. It's kind of left the Wii U alone here recently. I don't remember the last Wii U port to come to the Switch, but I feel like it's been a minute. Probably Pikmin 3. Maybe I'm missing something else, but I will say, guys, keep this guide in mind as Wii U collecting starts to pick up. These are 10 Wii U games that I think are stuck on the Wii U. So if you are buying for the Wii U, I don't think these games are getting remade. I don't think these games are getting ported over. So if you want games that you can only play on the Wii U, most of these games do have authentic reasons to use the gamepad. So, your Wind Waker HD, your Twilight Princess HD, your Nintendo Land, your Yoshi's Woolly World. These are all games that I recommend for Wii U collectors. They're all really good. And, the Kirby and the Star Fox, those games are most likely stuck on the Wii U. So the only way to experience them, and experience them the way they are meant to be played, again with the gamepad features intact, is going to be on the Wii U, guys. So, did I miss any major games that should have been on here? What do you think of the Wii U and these games listed today? Let people know which games that they should get. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.